Welcome back, everyone. This is Julie, and this is Tune on Critic Seneca. Momentarily having a panic attack because I thought the podcast was not recording. I am here by myself in my house, and I have Federica here with me today because my sister left her to us on devices again.
Yeah.
I just want to say the podcast, the actual topic of today is completely Frankenstein. We're going to do a little brief section of course, what we've done this week and what we've seen. But at the same time, we are going to get heavy and dirty into this movie because we both loved it incredibly much. Martina liked it, right?
I don't think she's seen it yet because she was waiting to finish the book.
The book, yeah. She's reading the book first. And then
she was waiting for that, and then she was going to watch it. I think she had a plan of watching it at the end of the week, but I'm not too sure because then
she's actually watching Hans Zimmer tonight, which I've seen yesterday, which I have cried for about 3 hours of show. It was incredible. Yes. So regarding to what we did this week yesterday, yes, I did see Hans Zimmer, and it was incredible. What did you do, Federica, this week?
I pretty much worked and watched TV. So I finished Stranger Things after I've been bullied because I didn't watch it immediately. So I watched Stranger Things, and
listen,
I regret watching it this fast because now I have to wait until the 25th of December to watch the rest.
But I was done at 11 a.m. in the morning. I needed someone.
I know, but I knew that I was going to be like, give me the next episodes now.
Yeah.
But it's not going to happen. So I finished Stranger Things. I finished The Witcher, which not bad, but also not good.
Because
and lo and behold, it's not just for Liam Hemsworth. I actually liked him as a Witcher. He's not Henry Cavill, but he's a different Witcher, but I think he made him too soft. So,
I see.
It's not the real Witcher.
He's not morally grey.
It's not morally grey, exactly. I felt like there was more honor because Liam Hemsworth has the honorable face. It doesn't have that kind of like greedy.
It's like you never know if it's morally grey, if it's good or bad. So
exactly.
Liam Hemsworth has the good face. Yeah,
exactly.
I see.
So I finished The Witcher. Then I watched.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Let me tell you something. I cannot stop laughing about this. I'm so glad my sister is not here. She would have not stopped shutting me down. I swear to God. So a couple of months ago, me and one of my friends decided to get into some books, which were incredibly good. And it was a series of 6 books. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. And we all know what me and Federica watched this week, and I'm sure a lot of people have. So
yeah.
We both watched The Heated Rivalry.
Yeah.
Which it's honestly one of my favorite books that I've ever read. I'm absolutely obsessed with the TV show with Rachel Reid and anything else. And I've forced Federica into watching it because I really wanted her to see it. So
yeah,
please.
I went into it without reading the books. But because Julia was obsessively talking about it, I was like, hey, let me give it a look. So I watched the 2 episodes that came out, and I think I'm going to keep on watching just to see what it goes. I liked it. I think something is lost in translation between the book and the screen.
Mm-hmm, I agree.
It doesn't go really deep into like the emotional turmoil of the 2 characters, I think. So it stays a little bit surface level, but I understand it's just 2 episodes, so I'm gonna wait to have an opinion. And then I started Interview with the Vampire.
Oh yes, you did. You were gonna start that, yeah.
Yeah, I finally did. So I'm interested to see how it goes. It starts slightly slow, but I'm gonna keep on persevering and watching it. And also, I think it was shot in New Orleans, so some of the places that they were shot I recognized when we went.
That's good.
So I really liked it.
I'm sure there was a TV show about the vampire would have been shot in New Orleans, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely.
But,
and yeah.
This was the rest of the week, yes. What were you going to say?
What did you do apart from doing Hans Zimmer?
I mean, what did I do this week? I babysit Nala, which was, I was very excited. And for a couple of days, and then I went to watch Hans Zimmer, yes. And then I finished another book, because why not? And then, yes, I watched Stranger Things, which I literally woke up at 6 a.m. to watch, and then I finished it at 11 a.m. And let me tell you, that reaction that I had was ungodly. We're going to talk about it for next week, by the way.
Yes.
We're going to talk about the first part. And just so you know, it's going to be a complete spoilered episode. So please do not listen to the episode if you haven't seen it.
Yeah,
because
correct.
it's impossible to speak about it if you haven't seen it. So
No, that's true. And we kind of have to go deep into it because, my God,
yeah,
so good.
We have to go deep into it because the whole thing that was going on.
As deep as Vecna will go into our minds.
Oh God, I thought I froze for a second. And I said,
you thought I was going to...
No. I was like, what is she going to say? I know this is like a great thing because we have no restraint with Martina not here, but I was like, hold on.
I kept it clean and PG-13.
No, I know. We always keep it clean and PG-13. Anyway, Heated Drive. No, I'm joking. I'm not gonna.
Anyways.
No, I did see. So I was very excited as well. I've seen the first 2 episodes, and the next episode is gonna come out on Friday over the Heated Rivalry, and I was very excited. For someone that has read all of the books, like one by one, it is incredible, and it's an entire like universe that you would love to see completely into a TV show.
This is probably would be me in a couple of months when the Off Campus series comes out on Amazon.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's when it was one of my first long series that I actually read, so I was confused on how everything was clocked together, and it was beautiful. And I'm completely obsessed by the actors now as well, so I'm absolutely delighted to be seeing.
I got so surprised that he wasn't Russian. Jesus, man, he does the accent so well.
I've seen so many Russian people actually go. My flatmate, she speaks Russian, and the first time that she had Connor actually speaks Russian, she went, "So he's Russian?" And I went, "No, he's not Russian." And
so
went,
good.
What?
So good.
Yeah, that's been one of the most appreciated thing. Is the fact that it's Hudson's micro expressions and Connor's entire like change of language basically. But yeah, I'm super excited. Cannot wait to see the rest. I'm sure I'm going to blather about it at some point when a couple of more episodes come out. I'm just going to ask for permission. It's not going to be PG. I'm joking. I'm going to make it PG, I promise.
I will support for that.
Okay, good. Thank you. Frankenstein.
Yes.
Okay, so I am going to ask you something.
Yes.
The first question that I want to say, clear and nice, from 1 out of 10. How much?
1,800 and infinite.
Nice. I like that. I like that, and I absolutely agree.
I think it's my most favorite movie of the year.
Beautiful.
It's I always thought that Guillermo del Toro is such a delicate director, and it's weird to think of him that way because most of his movies are really gory. Like there's a lot of blood and everything, but for some reason is still able to tap into people's emotion and just grab your heart in his hand and squeeze it and get every ounce of emotion out of you that he can with such small nuances in his film that I find it like really incredible. His creativity is out of this world.
I feel like after seeing Hans Zimmer yesterday, I feel like they're kind of like kindred spirits because like the love and passion that they actually bring to the craft is something that you don't see very often, and it goes so deep into them that they can actually create new things.
Absolutely.
And taking a book and a movie that has been done so many times and making it new again and making it even better than before, it's crazy. It's beautiful. And I absolutely agree with the rating. It was absolutely beautiful. I was astonished by Jacopo Elordi, and I was astonished by Oscar Isaac, of course. Mia Goth, I didn't even realize she was twice in the movie, not once.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I think there was some prosthetics involved in that.
Yeah, she did say in an interview that he helped her like tap into the mother because she was wearing like a fake forehead and nose.
Yeah, something. Like
so the forehead and
different.
the nose was slightly different, slightly changed. And that's why the first time, so when I saw it at the London Film Festival, I was really far away and the screen was really big. And I was like, that looks like Mia Goth.
I did not catch that until I saw an interview.
But I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. And the use of the red veil on her face was kind of like, he hid it really well. So I was like, maybe I'm seeing double. Then I went to the exhibition in London. And I saw that they described that Mia was used for the role of the mother as well, and I was like, so I'm not going completely crazy.
So it wasn't me. She actually was used for the role of the mother.
And then when I saw it at home, and it's the lunch slash dinner scene when she eats food and she's without a veil, I was like, that doesn't look like Mia Goth. They've done something to her face. Interesting. And then when I saw the interview and I saw how they were using the prosthetic for her, I was like, it makes sense. So they've done a really good job with that as well.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad that you liked it. Yeah, I absolutely did not clock that until I saw an interview, and it was incredible for me to actually understand that it was her. Especially because there's something in her voice as well is different. She changes the accent as well. She's doing, she's speaking French, so, and she does, like, the only thing that made me jump up a little bit is the fact that the kid that did not, like, you could hear that French was not the first language. So I'm assuming that the father was English, the mother was French, so he was in the middle.
And because the father was, let's be honest, a dictator, he probably was used to just bully his son in speaking English only.
Absolutely. And what a choice of dad, our favorite Lannister.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I'm joking. We hated that man, but that means that he's doing his craft good.
And have you recognized who plays the blind man?
No.
It's David Bradley, who used to be Argus Finch in Harry Potter. So instead of playing a mean man, he plays the most
gorgeous, like
compassionate,
kind man.
pure soul in the film.
Yeah.
I found the relationship really amazing, to be honest, and his acting was brilliant.
I think that the relationships are a big part of what we're going to discuss anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we're going to have a full go at that. What was the first reaction that you had once it finished? Like, because you were saying to me in private time that a lot of your friends didn't understand the ending of the movie or generally how it was created.
So when I first came out of the movies, I found the experience to be really cathartic for me. And I found immense relief after watching it, in the sense that I wasn't relieved that because it was ending, but I found emotional relief, because it felt like a full circle conclusion with kind of sort of a positive outcome for the creature. So in a way, the emotional tension that I had throughout the film just got released at the very end. And I think the one thing that will stay with me, there's a few scenes that stay with me usually that I found really poetic in cinematography, and one of them was the blood splatter in the cotton field in Django Unchained. I really loved it because you have the purity of the flower that is white, and then you have blood splatter on it. So like, it evokes an image in your head. The same thing happened with the last scene in Frankenstein when you see the creature looking at the sun and just have that moment of, I've done what I could. That's it.
I've done what I needed to do. I've forgiven myself. I've forgiven
exactly. I've forgiven myself. I've forgiven my creator. I'm letting go. So it gave me, to me, I tapped so much into the emotional side of the movie that it made me feel such relief as well. And I came out, I was like, this is really great. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we'll be nominated for an Oscar. Him as a director, the movie itself, because I feel like it has a full circle.
Yeah.
Is what I believe movies should be made for. Not just to entertain, but making you go through a journey.
Yeah, to inspire a journey of emotion, to inspire yourself to feel something that you haven't felt before. Of course, that's the whole point of art. And a lot of people actually don't see it like that. So, of course, it's just for entertainment.
Yeah.
There was nothing to entertain. Like, you were watching a story of a poor thing just completely mistreated by the word and the own creation, the own person that created it. So it's not really entertaining. It needs to inspire something in you. So, of course, it's very important, the amount of emotion that comes out of a movie like that.
No, absolutely.
But yeah, we've seen a little bit of Del Toro actually having a bit of moments with the creature in the movie with Jago Belorti. And there is a very funny interview that he says there was a moment when he said, like, when he came out full makeup, he went out, and then I think that Guillermo del Toro just went like this, and Jacopo Elordi was already in the part and kind of went with him, and it made him understand, like, the whole creation and the whole thing, that, like, it was very beautiful because the creature was Guillermo del Toro's creation. It wasn't really Frankenstein's creation.
Kind of like a full circle moment.
Yeah, it was very beautiful, to be fair, and they were lovely on the set. So I saw a couple of interviews and a couple of snippets, and they were really cute.
And I think I'll have to give a lot of credit for the success of this emotional part to Jacopo Elordi himself.
Absolutely.
I mean, the work that is done with just his eyes is not even the body, it's his eyes, and the way they change throughout the film and throughout the creature's experience. It was something that I found deeply moving.
Yeah, there is a lot to his movements as well, of course. So when it starts, like, that he's very tender, he's very shy, and he's very scared, and then at some point they become almost like forced to protect himself, so he has to be a little bit more strong about anything else, like if he's been attacked, or you know. So you can kind of see the progression of himself just going through the entire movie. So the movie is divided in 3 parts. So the first part is, of course, the creator. The second part is the creature, and the third part,
it's like the epilogue is the last bit.
It's like the epilogue. I don't remember the name actually, but there is a name for it. And yeah, that's the entire story. So what do you think? What is the contrast thinking about in between the two? So the first part and the second part and the third part.
So the first part, it's mainly trying to, I think it's a way of allowing Victor to tell his side of the story. But because he's not a humble man, even at his worst, when he's right at the end, he still doesn't recognize the mistakes that he's made and the generational trauma that he's carrying with him. So he's shaped by the bad relationship that he has with his father who forced him to be perfect, who didn't let him live his childhood, who took away from him the only person that let him behave like a child. Because she was nurturing him as his mother.
Yeah.
So when his mother dies, he's not allowed
anymore.
Exactly, and he's not allowed to be a child. He's not allowed to suffer. He has to bring out the name of his father and bring out his legacy.
And surpass him as well, and surpass his legacy. Because
exactly.
He does have this hate towards him that he wants to surpass his
legacy. And
that's
the only way why he wants to surpass him. Yeah, because he's like, I don't want to be like you. I want to be better.
I want to be better, but then he ends up being worse.
Exactly. So he gets lost.
He just ends up being worse.
In this quest of being accepted as an extraordinary man. So the drive to make life, it's not the normal thing that you will think of, oh, it's just man wanting to be God. It's worse than that. It's just him wanting to prove everybody else wrong, doing the impossible so that he could feel fulfillment. And it's not for the sake of being remembered as a great doctor or a great scientist. It's for the sake to be like, I am better than everybody else.
Yeah.
There's no strive for scientific research. It's more personal gain.
I think there's no strive or purpose in general. There's no strive for him. Like, he doesn't want to make anything of his own. Like, he doesn't want to make a name of his own. He just wants to surpass everything and everyone.
He wants to fulfill the prophecy of his name. He wants to be a victor.
Yeah, of course. And
he wants to win.
Yeah, it wants to win. And it's kind of given to, like, the whole Prometheus story that goes in between as well, the narration. It's very interesting because at some point it does get burned anyway.
Yeah.
He gets burned.
And he does recognize that his darkness.
Yeah.
And his brother is light because his brother was allowed a childhood.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he was forced to grow. But in the way that he was forced to grow, there was a lot of violence. So that's the only thing that he knows.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the only thing that I can actually give back. So you said something very interesting, like a couple of minutes ago. You said that it was a cycle. you said, and then you said the generational trauma. We were speaking about this before. Do you think that the cycle was the generational trauma? Like the whole point of the three relationship was like the father, the creator, and the creature was generational trauma.
Absolutely. So there's if you, in the exhibition, when I was looking at the various things that were explained, the cinematography itself plays a part. So every window, it's made as a circle. So when light shines in, because it represents the journey that all of the characters go through, and the fact that Victor stays trapped in his generational trauma. So it goes in circle around. It doesn't grow. It doesn't come out of it. It doesn't become a better person. It just gets absorbed completely by this obsession. Meanwhile, the creature itself, because it got exposed to what life could be when you are loved, when you're nurtured, when you are allowed to make mistakes and to grow, for him, there's a full moment of circle where he's like he's going after him because he wants to ask something of Victor. He has a purpose, like, I want you to make something for me. But in the end, it's like, you know what? I think I need to forgive you in order to free myself of this burden, because everywhere I go, I will only end up being angry still if I carry this resentment.
There's a very good analogy for this, and right now it doesn't clearly comes to my mind, but it's just like drinking poison and like
Yes.
waiting for the other person to be sick.
Yes.
So
Correct.
that's the whole thing. It's just like he kind of like forgives himself because he's like, I need to forgive you to forgive myself to keep on going. And just since you have gifted me with this eternal life, at some point I might as well make something out of it.
Yeah. And what you find interesting about all of this is that Victor, although he's a man, is still a child. And you know how that is portrayed in the movie?
By tantrums?
No. He's a man that is free of vices, so the only thing that he drinks is milk.
Yeah, true. Oh my god, that was so upsetting to see, honestly.
Yes. He only drinks milk, which is, what is the first milk that you ever drink?
Yeah, your mom.
As your mom.
I think there's definitely a sort of like, mother issues in the movie, of course.
Absolutely.
And the lack of thereof. So
and
when
that's
you take
why
off
he grows
the mother,
attached to Elizabeth as well, because she's a nurturing figure.
Yeah.
So he doesn't like her for who she is. He likes the idea of her. The fact that she's so ethereal, she moves around about life with such pure innocence. So he kind of wants to capture and cage that innocence for himself.
Yeah, absolutely. Like she wants to cage and capture the butterfly that she sees. So they kind of have something in common.
Yes.
Which I think is very interesting, because there was a particular scene where they go like, do they let the butterfly go or cage it? And they both decide to cage it.
Yeah.
Which is very important to the whole narration in between him, the monster, and Elizabeth also decisions, because at some point you do get introduced to the fact that like there's some sort of interest in between the two.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important that interest was never come in place. Never come in place.
I think she makes a conscious decision. She's like, we
a
cannot be
super-conscious
together
decision.
because you will end up just trapping me like we trapped together the butterfly.
Yeah.
But also I think she also let go of the notion at the very end when she gets shot and she dies in the arms of the creature, but she accepts and she's like, it's best that it ended up like this, because I don't think I could have taught you what you're looking for. And so I think like that's the moment for her when she gets out of her type of journey and evolves, although it's at the very end. It takes her to die.
Yeah, to evolve.
In order
it's
to understand.
Like
yes, exactly.
So. Yeah, there's a lot of dynamics that you actually understand once you think about it. But the fact that you said that a lot of people didn't understand it and they saw the romanticism a little bit too much into it, it makes me think, because they didn't, they you said that they saw no horror and no romantic interest.
They were like,
Completely missing the point.
yeah, they didn't understand the real plot, because with Frankenstein you always get that idea, because the story has been told so many times.
Yeah.
The idea just become the another tale of of Prometheus, a man that got too close to the sun,
And then
or
go
like
back.
Icarus, a man that got too close to the sun and then failed. This is not about that. This is about more about understanding that there's more to life than just creation.
I think that the first thing that came to my mind once I finished the movie was nature versus nurture.
Yeah,
So once what a person does to bring up their creation, or how you leave it into the world, they will grow up, basically.
absolutely.
And that's how he left it in the world. Of course, he didn't take any care for it. So the difference in between, we can see in the second part, jump into it, like we can see that in the second part, he gets closer to Elizabeth.
Yes.
Elizabeth takes a moment to actually understand him. Elizabeth takes a moment to actually speak to him and make him understand that, like, there's something in her throat that is making noise. You know what I mean? He doesn't immediately go, this is my name and I want you to learn it. She kind of gives him the impression that he can, you know, get thought all of the things that go behind the sound of a voice. It's the teaching that is missing.
She takes the
from Victor.
time to explain to him how the throat works,
Yeah.
how you get words out. She's treating him like a child that is just a newborn that needs to learn, which is something that Victor doesn't see because he's impatient. He's thinking that he built a full-grown man.
Yeah.
So this full-grown man should be thinking already.
Yeah, it should be able to do anything, to move. And it's crazy. It's impossible to think about that.
And as soon as it gets tough,
it's an
it just washes himself of him and just be like, no, you're not worth my effort. You just have to die now. And because he's not perfect as he thought he would be, he just decides to get rid of him, like his father did to him, because he wasn't perfect and he was punished. Then there's no need to spend effort in it. So he's falling into his father's footstep, even though if he wanted to be the further away from him, which I found brilliant.
Yeah. Of course, that's the main bit of the movie. And it's also very funny how it goes back into you getting punished by the lack of love.
Yes.
You got punished by the lack of love, and you will punish with lack of your love.
Yes.
And you will be punished by the lack of the only person that you loved.
And because he was only exposed to violence, that's how he's gonna teach the creature. Instead, the creature evolves and knows what real nurturing is, because he lives the time with the blind man who takes the time to explain things to him, who enriches his life and his mind, who doesn't look, and it's not about, some people are like, oh, because he's blind, he doesn't look at him, so he doesn't know his appearance. It's the being blind is just the fact that it's a person that looks beyond.
Yeah.
So it's just a mean to be like, I hear you. I saw your nice action towards my family.
Yeah.
So I know that you are innately good and you will not hurt me. So I'm gonna spend the time to teach you things.
Yeah, and there's a very beautiful scene where he seemed to like be touching him. He does understand, like, there's a very tactile sensation. Like, he does understand that there's something wrong with this person. He does understand that there's like gaps and like things on his face. So he knows for sure that his appearance must not be beautiful. Mm-hmm. That's nothing that he cares about. There's something that he wants to care about is just actually teach him what he wants to know. And then they kind of fall into this close father-son relationship, which is the only thing that was missing from him.
And it teaches him the value of knowing where you're coming from to really understand yourself. Because for the creature always felt like it was alpha man, because he didn't know his true origin. He had just weird memories. And the blind man encourages him, like, you need to understand who you are and you need to explore this idea, even if it's going to be painful. That will help you understand, and then will bring you something that is going to be important for you.
Yes. You need to go to the bottom to actually understand who you are, and then you need to come out of it to you can only meet other people for how deep you meet yourself, basically. So if you don't know who you are, how can you pretend that you know other people and that you can get to know other people? And still, we're not going on to the notion of the fact it's a monster, because that's not a monster. It's like, it's a creation that was not schooled. It was a creation that was not nurtured for. It was a creation, like we talk about it as a creature, because it's not even a human. It's not like a baby. It's not a monster. So it's a creature. It's something that somebody else created. So they should take, they should actually take responsibility for it, and they didn't.
Yeah.
So somebody else had to do it. And luckily somebody else did it, so that wouldn't go back into being violence only. Also, there's a very nice scene that I absolutely adore, which is the part when he is doing the spirits of the forest bit. Basically.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful scene. But my question was mostly like, how do you think, because I cannot wrap my head around it, but how do you think that he actually gave himself a conscious decision of helping them? What did he see in them?
I think...
Because that was a conscious decision. That was simply something that he decided he wanted to do.
So I think the reason behind that, and this is the one of the reasons why I probably cried in some of those scenes, I think he holds themes from the way that the grandpa or the blind man talks to his niece. And when he gives her a compliment or affirms that she's done something right, he gives her a pat on the head.
Yeah.
And that's what he does to himself as well.
Yeah, he does it to himself as well, yeah.
And that's when he starts, like, he's looking to get or to gain recognition and positive affirmation. So he does something nice. And when he hears that, they call it like the friend from the spirit of the forest that is being helpful, he gives a pat on his own head.
I think when I saw that scene, I actually squealed for a moment, because that was probably one of the cutest things I've seen all year. And it was harrowing, to be fair.
When the first time he introduces himself, and then he takes his hand and he put it in his head and he says, friend, that broke me.
Yeah.
I had tears coming down on my eyes, because I was like, this is just a deeply wounded person because he's not a creature anymore. He's a person that is just looking for love and validation.
And he's being shaped into a person, and a good one at most.
Yeah. And such a small gesture where he's seeking to be recognized as you've done something right, well done, just opens up a new world for him. And I found that it was like, that resonated with me so much.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And I found it really subtle as a way of being like, what is this creature moved from? Why does he decides to help them? Because he just wants to be accepted. Yeah,
he just wants to be cherished as well from the good actions that he does. And at the same time, it's kind of one of the love languages, just acceptance, just actually doing something for someone and then not being rewarded anything, just making sure that the person enjoyed it and appreciated it. That's it. So it's a very important love language for sure. And I absolutely adore Jacopo Elordi in that scene. It broke me as well. I understand exactly what you're talking about.
It was really, really good. Like, genuinely, I've seen him doing great work, but I think this one was next level. I do believe that getting into that deep process of going through the makeup, which is a really, really long process. Yeah. It's 11 hours on top of then shooting for how many hours you shoot. So it's a full day of work.
And night.
Yeah. And I think he said multiple times that those 11 hours for him were cathartic to get into the character's mind.
Yeah, of course.
And just leave everything out. So, and it really worked. It was really, really good. And I feel like of all the performances, his ones was outstanding. Oscar Isaac is still brilliant. Yeah, there's nothing else to say about him.
I think it's his story, so I think it's good that he gets the outstanding of them all, because it is his story. Yeah. So that's also very important. And there's always been a lot of people that never understood that, like, the Frankenstein was, like, they always thought that the Frankenstein was the kind of figure, like, with the screws in his head.
Yeah.
And, like, the carved stuff. And like, it wasn't. The Frankenstein is not the monster. The Frankenstein is Victor Frankenstein, which is the person that created it. But I'm sure that A lot of people actually read the novel, at least in school, because we did.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
but did you read it again
I
recently?
didn't reread it because I knew that the story was gonna be a little bit different.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, it was a little bit different.
Yeah, I did appreciate the themes are the same, I think.
Yeah, of course.
Explored in different ways. So because for Mary Shelley you still have the Victor is still the man that is like it's run too close to the sun and tried to do the impossible, but he was too sure of himself to understand that his ways were wrong. But there was still the creature represents humanity in a way. And I think that was the purpose of the book itself, is just to remind people that sometimes simple things are the things that will make you happy. Because when we think about romanticism, that's the other notion as well. Romanticism as an era wasn't an era of romance. It was an era of second guessing everything that has been done up until then in society, looking at the society of the moment and realize that there was something deeply wrong, and it was going back towards nature and a simple way of life to actually appreciate more life itself. So all of the romanticism movement was all about going back to a simpler time because society was getting too complex. And in a way, it's a shift that we're seeing now as well, where we have so much of technology, so much of everything that is changing so quickly that
we're trying to go back.
us as human being can keep up with that. So most of the time we try to go back
to vintage. We try to go back to photography.
Exactly.
to
And
clothes,
there's a nostalgic flavor towards remembering the past. And I feel like as a generation, millennials are the ones that kind of feel this the most. We are the in-between generation. So you still feel like how it was before, and you still romanticize how it was playing outside in the field, trusting that when the sun is out, you're going to be able to go back playing in the street. And then you are the generation that understands technology deeply because we saw it starting and we saw the positive that it brought, but also the negative as well. So that's why we are in between of this. And I think romanticism did the same. They were deeply unhappy about the society at the time, so they found the need to having to go back to a simpler time and nature. And you see it in every poem of the time. But it's interesting how it's a woman that is the daughter of one of the women that created feminist movement and made sure that she as a woman could have good opportunities, and yet for her book to be published she had to use her connections. She had to use a man. She had to use Lord Byron, and it only got published because they published it under the name of a man. And she was also seen as a woman that wasn't a traditional kind of woman because she got in a relationship with a man without being married, and he was married before. So she was the other woman. So she was deeply problematic as a figure, but yet she still had a way to kind of like find beauty in everything, in nature, in what she was. In small things, exactly.
Does it remind you of Elizabeth?
She does a little bit. But Elizabeth, it's pure and kind of naive. Because she still believes that she does her duty, and she still believes that the world can be a nice place, and she ends up dying because of it, because the world is not a nice place because she was too naive to protect herself. And that's why I think
she was also very naive to get attached to a man like Victor that created the danger that she was in, and that she ended up dying.
Absolutely. So I think like probably Mary Shelley is closer to the creature than Elizabeth, just because she has that kind of awareness of like, the world could be so much better if we will only accept ourselves for who we are, but also learn from our mistakes but also appreciate what we have around us, that simple things can make you happy. So I think the essence of the book and the story still stayed in the film, but it was interpreted in a different way by Del Toro, which doesn't make it bad or wrong. It just makes it a different key of reading the story.
Definitely.
And I think this is the closest to an adaptation that will actually do justice to the theme of the story of the book.
I think that specifically the generational trauma that we were talking about is one of the most important themes in general, and the fact that it was not broken from him, but it was broken by the creature. There's a lot of love, but it's none of romantic love. We're talking about like parental love. We're talking about love for nature. We're talking about love for art and love for discovery in science. But there's no romantic love, and so it should be. So I don't think that there was a lot of people that understood that there shouldn't be any romantic love, but this was another kind of love, and I'm not sure that a lot of people understand that there is more kind of loves. So that was very important to me, because I'm sometimes I feel like in this day and age they're kind of feeding you on like the being a romantic story, like it has to
having
be
a family.
Yeah, it has to be like they need to fall in love, or like the other one needs to fall in love. Yes, they fell in love,
or
but nothing
you'll
happens.
Never feel complete if you don't have somebody
it's
that
the fact
loves
that
you.
He gravitated towards her, and then Victor, and then she gravitated towards the creature, but none of them actually gravitated. It like ended up clashing. You know what I mean? Because she died, of course, and she couldn't stay with the creature in a nurturing way, and she died and she couldn't stay with Victor in a romantic way, if you say so. So there was nothing genuinely romantic about it. It was just different kind of love. So I think that was very, very important to the whole story.
Yeah, I think we attach so much value in companionship,
and relationship,
that we forget to appreciate ourselves as one person.
As a whole.
You are a whole. You don't need to be the other half of an apple.
Yeah.
And you don't need to find another half.
It's a horrible myth, unfortunately, that the Greeks have brushed upon us. That cannot get over us, honestly.
Yes.
The half of a whole. It's like, that doesn't work like that.
But that's also part of the movie itself, because Victor misunderstands why the creature wants a companion.
Yeah, of course.
So it just thinks, oh, you just want to procreate. No, that's not the whole reason.
It's the freaks. It's like it's like the freakish like thoughts that come from him. Like, no. The only thing that I want is support and companionship.
Yes.
He probably doesn't even know, because what I thought actually about what makes me think, the Emma Stone movie.
Yeah. Begonia?
Not Begonia, the one that came before. Little Things?
No, it's
God, I don't remember that name.
Is it Small Things?
Small Things? Or Little Things?
Yes,
Small Things
no.
like this was Killing Murphy.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, there's basically the character that she plays in that movie that reminds me a lot about
Poor Things.
Poor Things.
Yes.
That reminds me a lot about the creature, in a sense, because she's another creation. She's exactly the same story in another font. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The only difference is that she's a woman, so it's interesting to see how it comes out. And also, there's a very big differences. There's a lot of differences. The first one is that she's a woman, that she comes out loved by the creator that actually did it. But she also comes out as caged by the person that she met. So there's like a little bit of jumping the theme, and at the same time she gravitates towards prostitution because she's initiated to it. So
she gravitates towards freedom of expression.
Yeah, exactly, the freedom of expression, because she has no idea how to express herself.
And
so he was like gravitated towards like learning about anything else.
And there's no better way to be more free than express yourself and have freedom through your sexuality.
And through your body, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But my point was that he wouldn't know. He wouldn't know. So the thoughts that came to Victor's mind, it was generally just like, it was all from a man that was created and brought up as he was. While on the other side, there was a completely blank state that had no idea what he was talking about.
Victor is still projecting his own fears and his own shortcomings on the creature, so he will never understand, and that's why he's not breaking the cycle. It's the creature itself that breaks the cycle, because he forgives him, And it was like, you don't understand what I'm asking for, but that's okay. I understand.
I understand what I asked you. I understand that you couldn't understand. I've met you deep enough, and that
Yes.
I've made peace with it myself.
And I accept that you will not understand what I'm asking for. And that's okay. That's your own journey.
Yeah. I think it's a very long journey for him, and it's a very important journey that I didn't think actually that was good. That surprised me a little bit. That whole conversation, it was very deep, and the whole ending conversation was not what I expected at all.
Yeah.
And the whole like forgive and forget, for me as a Scorpio, unfortunately, it doesn't come through me. So
It's
the whole
difficult.
thing, it was just like, oh my God, he's actually going to forgive him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was the right choice and the right call to make, of course.
Definitely.
And I do love the side characters around them, and the fact that like the captain immediately says that man is under, my protection. He wants to listen to his story. He wants to see what happened to both of them. And he doesn't necessarily want to, like, he wants to kill the monster just because for him it's the monster. He doesn't know what the creature said.
The thing about the naval, the ship, it's also about the fact that he is afraid of the creature because he doesn't know it.
Yeah.
Then he hears Victor's side of the story, but because he has a curious mind, similarly to the blind man,
Yeah, of course.
he's willing to be like, I want to see his story. I want to see what happens. I'm not willing to sacrifice Victor and just give him to him, like the creature is asking, but I'm willing to listen because there must be a reason. And that's the thing, it's like being so open-minded to accept the unknown. And that's what saved them at the end of it, because he allowed the creature to say his piece.
Yeah. Didn't attack him as well at the end.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything wrong. And at the end of that, he actually gave it back. Because, of course, he opened the eyes around the ship.
Yeah.
So he said, you made a good deed for me, and I'll make a good deed for you.
Exactly.
It was sparing my life, and I will spare yours.
Yeah.
Which is something that, like, he was taught by somebody else that was not Victor.
Yes.
Victor never spared his life. Victor, the first thing that he tried to do was kill him.
Mm-mm.
Kudos to him. He tried to say, don't go back and save him. But for what reason? Like,
Too
we'll
late.
Never know that. We'll never know that. And also
I think
blew
that
up a
was
leg.
a bit of regret.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I think it was more the fact that he wasted body parts. So I think just for the beauty of it.
That's exactly where I was going. So unfortunately, the regret will not be on the fact that he created like a sort of son for himself. And he could have, like, all the things that he could have done and taught him. The problem was that he wasted all of the resources, the money and the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Do not tell me that Victor was coming back to him to actually have a happy life with his son. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It was like, oh no, I regret. I need to save him. No.
Yeah,
oh my God, my project is going up in
It
flames.
was a project for him. Exactly. It was a project. It's like all my resources, all the things. And what if actually it does work and it brings me something good? He wasn't thinking for a second about that.
No.
That thing, that creature was actually calling his name.
Mm-mm.
And I think that, oh my God, bawled my eyes out when he said to the creature, say my name, like you said it before, like it's the last, like it meant
that
the word
moment.
to you. Oh my God.
That moment you literally feel the moment where you realize I've been rejected my whole life, and now I just want to feel like somebody needs me.
Like he meant, say my name again, like he meant the word to you. I think it's one of the most powerful things that I've ever heard.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It was gorgeous, honestly. Absolutely. I'm astonished by the movie, honestly. I haven't stopped drawing it a minute, but absolutely, I think it all came together at some point. And that specific ending was just too much for my poor little heart.
And I have to say, I think the music from this plot really played a big part as well. Absolutely. In sewing together all the emotions. And to use Del Toro's word, unless the song moves me to tears, I haven't done my job.
Yeah, true.
And that's exactly what the combination of his words, his creation, because all the set that he made, they were all real set. Like the ship was real. It took them ages, so the whole creative effort behind it then just culminates with the choice of a composer that really likes to move people to tears.
Yeah.
Because this plot is really good as well. I think to me it's at the level of Zimmer.
Yeah, definitely.
And and I think he deeply understands what a scene requires. And when I watched this movie, I was coming off of watching the new movie from Guadagnino, and unfortunately, the choice of composers, which is Trent Reznor and the other one, can't remember, but they basically created a soundtrack that really pushes you out of the story, and it just confuses you because a song is meant to evoke in you that a particular scene is about to come, so it prepares you emotionally to being able to receive that scene. And this is what this plot does beautifully. It creates something that prepares you for what you're about to watch.
Yeah, it's like a stage. It needs to be prepared and connected, and then evolved into the scene. It doesn't have to pull you out.
Yes, correct. So I think it all came together. That's why for me this is an Oscar movie, because he has everything. He has the writing, he has the cinematography, he has the directing, he has the sound, he has the actors feeling the story. So it's 100% a full
also has
package.
The makeup, also has a lot of things. You know what I mean?
It has the full package. That's why for me it should be amongst the Oscar nominated movie this year. And if it's not, I'm gonna be deeply sad.
It's very early, and we have a lot of things to see, but I really wish that was the case, because if that wouldn't be qualifying, I don't think anything else will.
Yeah, I think this is like a really strong candidate.
Yeah, it's truly a strong candidate. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Do think that this will be one of the Guillermo del Toro's movies that's been talked the most. And we still haven't seen Dracula. That's coming.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to that, but I think with Del Toro it's weird because for me, every time that I watch one of his movies, it gives me something new. So it makes a new remarkable film every year. I love The Shape of Water. It's another movie that stayed with me as well.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you loved it particularly.
I feel like he as a director, he has such a good talent of tapping into people's emotions because he stays close to the story so well. He's such an emotionally intelligent man. So I think this to me is top tier.
Yeah, definitely. I did like The Shape of Water, but at the same time, I think, I finished the movie and then I rewatched it again.
Yeah.
So it's like, that only has happened with a couple of movies for me. So when you finish it happens with Stranger Things last week. Yeah. Let me tell you. And it just goes back to it. And you're like, I wonder if I missed something.
Yes.
I wonder if I can catch something new, if I can catch a new expression, if I can catch... So you just rewatch it because you have to see it at least a second time. Absolutely. And then I watch it again with another friend. So it's like, probably this is my 5th time that I watch it. So...
And you always learn something new, and which is what I think it's the best bit with Del Toro. It's not just one key of reading. I think what it does best as a director is like it gives you the film, and then you can take out of it what you want to take out of it if you're open-minded enough. So whatever speaks to you as a person, you will find in the film. So I think that's his talent as a director, and that's why this movie worked out really well.
Definitely. I think it's one of those directors as well that understands the notion of love, but in a different way.
Yes.
So not romantic love. So yes, I'm glad that we had this long chat, but it was given because we both loved it, and we really needed to get it out.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think this could have been less biased, but I think we've been pretty good.
Yeah, no. I think there's a lot of people that actually liked it, which is good. But at the same time, sometimes I do wish to discuss things that I liked. You know, we don't usually go for things that we don't like simply because we don't want to talk about it. Like, we don't want to cause harm to this project. So sometimes it's good to just speak about something that you like.
Yes.
That you actually understood deeply. So I'm very happy that we had a chat about this. You satisfied?
Yeah.
You
I'm
satisfied
really
about the
happy,
yapping?
yes.
Okay.
I think
That's
I
good.
yapped enough.
You yapped enough. Okay, that's good. Well, if you have anything else to say, we'll do another episode on Frankenstein. Who cares? If you remember
But if you want to
something,
hear
what?
more, let us know.
we do another episode on Frankenstein, whatever you like. But yeah, I think this is all for this week. We will see you back next week with Stranger Things. And possibly I will steal the podcast for about a week to actually speak about Eater Drivery. So
No, why not?
if you want to join me, because my sister will not.
I will definitely join you.
Okay,
There's
that's
so
good.
much to unpack.
Okay. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.